What's good? What's good? It's the one and only, but what do I know? Boxing coming back at y'all with another one, man. So I got Errol Spence in the news, man. It looks as though, man, he actually replied to a fan on his verified Twitter account by saying he will be back when he is ready. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna go ahead and get to an article discussing that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and give you my opinion because I'm not really sure what that means. But let me go ahead and get to the article and we'll talk about it. All right, so shout out to essentialsports.com. It says Errol Spence comes clean on retirement after Sebastian Fundora fight cancellation. The fight between Errol Spence and Sebastian Fundora will not be happening. It follows a cryptic message from Spence Jr. expressing his thoughts on the current state of boxing. The tweet may have led some to speculate that the former unified welterweight champion may be done with the sport. Says last year also Spence posted a puzzling message that hinted a potential retirement. However, despite the setback with the Fundora fight, it seems the truth may not be ready to walk away just yet, following reports that the fight originally intended for last October and later moved to March 29th fell through. Spence Jr. took to social media to social media to share an update. Spence hasn't fought since his July 2023 loss to Terrence Crawford. While he activated a rematch clause, the fight never materialized or whatnot. Yeah, I already said that yesterday. But it said Spence tweeted on his verified Twitter account. He says, "I'll be back when I'm ready." Spence Jr. commented in a response to a fan eager to see him return to the ring. After Mike Coppicer's initial report, the WBO also shared the reason for not sanctioning the matchup with Fundora versus Spence Jr. So it says many fans' apprehension traced back to a statement Errol Spence made last year as reports of a potential fight with Sebastian Fundora began to circulate. Spence shared a cryptic message, "Might be the last time you see me." This left many wondering if the former champion was hinting at retirement. The Fundora match was initially scheduled for October, but around the same time, complications arose when the WBO directed their interim title holder Terrence Crawford and Fundora to prepare for a fight. The two parties was given until October 10th to finalize an agreement. Otherwise, the matter will be proceed to purse bid or whatnot. Unfortunately, the possibility fell through and attention shifted back to Errol Spence later. Reports surfaced suggesting a potential fight that could happen in March, but obviously it never happened. At the start of the new year, an unexpected development occurred. Parody account impersonating Talksman, if you guys notice a Michael Benson, but it has two N's at the end of it, bro, it's not really him. Look out for that. Watch out for the two N's. It's only one N with Michael Benson. That's the one N at Benson is the real Michael Benson. But yeah, man, it's basically just going in, talking about the what Errol Spence has left or whatnot. So, it says technically Spence Jr. could challenge Virgil Ortiz, the interim title holder. Defeating the fellow Texan could set the stage for another matchup with Fundora. However, there is a catch. The growing time gap since his last fight may impact his ability to draw crowds. As a result, his team is likely to act quickly to get him back in the ring. What do you think Errol Spence should do? Should he consider retirement, or does he still have fights left in him? As I always like to say, it's just so much we don't know. All right, so let me go ahead and just give you my opinion. I don't necessarily know what that means. He says I will be back when I'm ready. So I don't know if that means that maybe he's healing from maybe he still has some heal. I don't know, because if that's the case, then why would he be trying to fight Fundora? Listen, I don't think the longer Errol Spence stays out of the ring, regardless of whether it's another injury or not, the more it's gonna hurt him and his career. All right. Now, obviously, we don't want to see Errol come back until he's fully, as close to 100% as he possibly can be. And we don't know what injuries he has lurking, even still from that car accident that happened in 2019. But what we do know is Errol Spence has been very inactive within the past 5 years or whatnot. Actually, in the past 5 years, Errol Spence has been very inactive or whatnot, and it's not helping him at all. Now, honestly, this is a situation that's becoming, well, like I just said in my last video talking about Errol Spence, he's kind of mirroring his once out of the ring rival Keith one-time Thurman. And by that, I'm saying how you remember how Keith Thurman was on a roller coaster, and then he started getting injured a lot, and he started taking these year layoffs and these 2-year layoffs and now 3-year layoffs or whatnot. It seems like that's where the path that Errol Spence is walking down. And the reason why that's so dangerous is because Keith Thurman, a guy like Keith Thurman, who only has one loss. I think Keith Thurman's record is like I think he's like 30-1 with 22 knockouts or something like that. He only has one loss, but because he's been so inactive, I don't even, just like the article kind of insinuated, I know that Keith Thurman is going to have to be an undercard fighter, and he was once a unified champion who was definitely headlining. He had, Keith Thurman and Sean Porter did like 6 million views on CBS or whatnot. It like, that was crazy. And that was crazy. Keith Thurman versus Danny Garcia drew in huge numbers. Not pay-per-view, but ticket sales for the fight was crazy. But now Keith Thurman has been gone for so long. I guarantee you, I ain't gonna say guarantee you, because that would be an oxymoron if I say I guarantee you he probably wouldn't. That goes against each other. But I'm more than sure that he wouldn't even be able to sell out in his own home. You know what I'm saying? Just because he's just been gone for so long, bro. Like, it's just, so with that being said, Errol Spence got to get the ball rolling. Otherwise, he's going to pretty much, I don't want to say lose out on his fans, but they're definitely not going to be as interested in him as they once were. You got to think, Errol Spence has a solid fan base in Dallas, Texas, man. The dude sold, it was like 37 or 40, I can't remember if it was 37,000 or 47,000 people came to see him fight Yordenis Ugas. And you can't say Ugas had anything to do with that, because Ugas doesn't even have a fan base out here in America like that. So that was strictly Errol Spence, bro. Or I think he did like 37,000 with Mikey Garcia too or whatnot. So it's like, bro, Errol Spence was a really big draw at one particular time, but it just seems that all of that is just slipping away due to him just being inactive. And I don't think that's a safe thing, because it's also, you got ring rust. And if Errol Spence looks anything less than spectacular coming back, especially if he's fighting a tune-up and he doesn't look spectacular, people are gonna write him off. They're gonna say he's done or whatnot, and you can't really blame him, because we don't have anything to go off of to say, well, Errol just had an off night. We don't have anything to go off of that. You know how like in the NBA, they play 82 games or whatnot, and it's like, LeBron can afford to have an off night because we're gonna see him play again in a few days or whatnot, and it'll be, we won't. It's not such a harsh thing. But when you have fighters like Errol Spence is only fighting, that hasn't fought since 2023 and is now 2025, we don't have much to go off of. And that's why we don't truly know how Errol Spence is going to come back, because not only do we not have much to look off of, but the last thing we do have to look off of, just to kind of measure where we think Errol Spence can be at right now, was a horrific loss by Terrence Crawford, where Errol Spence pretty much didn't win not one single round, or maybe the first round, maybe. So we don't have much to really go off of. So I don't know, Errol he has a beautiful family, beautiful home. If he doesn't want to come back and fight, that's all fine and dandy. I have no problems with that at all. But I'd rather him at least make a move, kind of in the near future, because it's not. The longer he waits, man, the harder it's going to be to climb back on top. Even especially like, even moving up to 154, I just don't think, I don't know. 54 is a very dangerous division. 54 is a division that's stacked with danger, but no popular, not really a popular division. Just a very dangerous division, and that makes it worse. That makes it worse to the casual, because it's like, now he might come back and fight a dangerous fighter like Charles Conwell or something, and people don't know. that Charles Conwell is just super dangerous, and they might think, Charles Conwell might get the better of Errol Spence, and now they think, oh, Errol Spence is done. I think that their styles will make for a hell of a good fight, him and Charles Conwell. But, just saying. So, it's just my take on it. Hopefully Errol Spence makes a move quick and lets his fans know something, because I'm a fan of him, but I would love to know what he's going to do next. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think Errol Spence should continue fighting, or should he retire? Like, comment, subscribe. But what do I know?